There is a sacred way to ask, a way that does not beg, does not chase, does not scream. It simply resonates. This kind of asking is not performed with the mouth or shaped by words, but whispered through the magnetic field of your being. The universe does not respond to need, it responds to alignment, and alignment begins when your desire stops being a thought and becomes a vibration. Pause now. Breathe into the part of you that is still. Can you feel that subtle tension between what you long for and what already is? That is the portal. That is the space where true asking begins. Not from lack, but from remembrance. You are not here to convince the universe. You are here to remember that you are it. To ask like this is to lean into coherence. Your body, your emotions, your thoughts, your energy, all must sing the same frequency. The moment they do, reality starts shifting. Not because you pushed, but because you finally matched. The question is not, how do I get what I want? The question is, can I become the version of me who already has it? This is not about scripting or affirmations. It is about inner architecture, about adjusting the silent structures that form your perception. Because the universe, in truth, is a mirror. And a mirror can only reflect what you truly are, not what you pretend to be. So ask, yes, but ask through being, through stillness, through trust so deep that your energy no longer contradicts your request. Ask as the ocean asks for the moon, with no words but undeniable pull. That is how the universe cannot say no. Si estas palabras ya tocaron tu alma, suscríbete al canal y comparte en los comentarios. ¿Qué vibración sientes ahora dentro de ti? Ahora, vamos a continuar. Before the universe responds, it listens. And it listens not to the noise of your mind, but to the silence beneath it. In that silence lives your true request, the one not polluted by fear or conditioned by urgency. Can you sit with yourself long enough to hear what you are actually asking for? Stillness is not absence. It is presence in its purest form. And within that presence, the subtle codes of manifestation are revealed. You do not have to scream into the cosmos to be heard. You only need to become quiet enough that your frequency becomes clear. Most people ask while they are still vibrating with doubt. They want abundance, but carry lack in their spine. They want love, but carry abandonment in their cells. And the universe, ever neutral, ever exact, simply echoes what it receives. To ask differently is to vibrate differently. It is to empty yourself of resistance and allow your field to become transparent, radiant, precise. In this transparency, your desire becomes light, a blueprint rather than a request. And light does not beg. It informs, it codes, it expands. Go into silence not to escape, but to meet yourself fully. Meet the version of you that is not waiting, the version that already is. Stay there until your thoughts dissolve and all that remains is presence, alive, intelligent, infinite. Then from that space, let the asking emerge, not as a cry but as a current, not as a plea but as a pulse. The universe listens to coherence, and coherence is born in the sacred depths of stillness. Your silence, if aligned, speaks louder than any prayer. Let it speak. If thought is the blueprint, emotion is the electricity that animates it. Asking begins in the mind, but it is the heart that gives it life. Without emotional charge, your desire is a silent signal, dim, incoherent, and easily ignored by the field. But when emotion is present, pure, undistorted, and aligned, the universe bends. Not any emotion will do. Desperation, fear, anxiety. These cloud the signal, turning your request into static. The vibration you emit matters more than the words you say. This is why so many prayers go unanswered. They are made from a place of inner noise. So feel, deeply, fully, consciously. Imagine your desire fulfilled, not as fantasy, but as embodiment. What would you feel if it were already here? Not someday, not if, but now. Let that feeling flood your system until it becomes your natural state. Gratitude is one of the most potent emotional carriers, not the kind that waits for results, but the kind that precedes them. When you give thanks before the evidence appears, you collapse time. You signal to the universe, I already have it. I already am it. And the field, bound by its own laws, must reflect that truth. This is not performance. You cannot trick the quantum. It reads the core, not the surface. So don't pretend to feel. Become the feeling. Let it rise from your belly to your chest and outward into your aura like a silent song. Let it soak every cell until there is no space for contradiction. Emotion is energy in motion. Let that motion carry your intention into the infinite, not as a command but as a communion. When your asking becomes a felt state, the universe responds, not later, but now. The secret is not in having, it is in being. Before the manifestation comes, your job is to become compatible with it. You do not attract what you want, you attract what you are. Every version of reality already exists, each one vibrating at its own unique frequency. Your task is not to force, but to tune. What would it feel like to already live in the timeline where your deepest desire is normal, effortless, expected? Sit with that question. Let it rearrange your posture, your breathing, your thoughts. Let it soften the urgency and replace it with presence. You cannot fake frequency. The quantum field does not respond to surface declarations. It responds to embodied truth. And truth has a texture. It feels still, grounded, inevitable. That is the vibration you must hold, not just for moments, but as a new baseline. Every time you say, "I want," notice the underlying signal. Does it carry trust or doubt? Is it anchored in possibility or coated in resistance? Now try replacing "I want" with "I am becoming." Feel the difference. One chases, the other invites. Your future self, the one who already lives in the reality you seek, is not far. It is a frequency away. And when you begin to embody that version, piece by piece, thought by thought, habit by habit, the veil thins. Reality adjusts. This process is not linear. It is vibrational. You will not walk toward your desire. You will merge with it by shifting your internal resonance. This is why the most powerful ask is not a question. It is a transformation, a becoming. So today, speak less, align more. Don't chase your desire. Reflect it, breathe it, become its mirror. And watch as the universe has no choice but to echo back what you've already decided to be. Trust is not belief. Belief can be shaken, questioned, dismantled. Trust is deeper. It is vibrational certainty, rooted not in logic, but in knowing. And when you ask from that place, the universe listens as if to itself. Most people ask and then wait, not with faith, but with doubt disguised as patience. Their vibration fluctuates like static on a broken antenna, but the magnetic field of true trust is unwavering. It does not check, it becomes. To cultivate this field, you must unlearn urgency. You must stop measuring time by clocks and start measuring by coherence. What matters is not how long it takes, but how aligned you are. In deep trust, there is no waiting, only receiving in motion. Every time you worry, you emit a contradiction. Every time you doubt, you distort the signal. This doesn't mean you must be perfect. It means you must return. Return again and again to that still point within where trust lives, not as a thought, but as a presence. Trust feels like breath, like warmth in the belly, like surrender that isn't giving up, but giving in. When you rest in that space, your ask becomes not a hope, but a truth already in transit. You no longer want it to happen. You know it must. Build this frequency daily, through silence, through gratitude, through presence, through small acts of embodiment. Let your choices reflect the world you're stepping into, not the one you're trying to escape. Let your words, your posture, your attention all align with the vibration of fulfilled desire. And when you truly trust, you stop asking the universe for signs, because you become the sign. Desire alone does not manifest. What often blocks the arrival of what we ask for is resistance. Not external, but internal, subtle tensions, invisible hesitations, unconscious no's embedded within our energy field. To ask powerfully is to release fully, and to release is to trust so deeply that you no longer grasp. Most asking fails not because it's weak, but because it's tangled in fear, in timelines, in expectation. We think we're open to receive, but we've already decided how it must come, when, and through whom. And in doing so, we shrink the infinite to a single door. Non-resistance is not passivity. It is clarity. It is the courage to not interfere. When you stop wrestling with reality, you create space for reality to respond. This is the paradox. You attract more by needing less. You receive faster by letting go sooner. Let go of needing, let go of timing. Let go of control disguised as visualization. Feel the desire, embody the state, and then release it like a feather into wind. Let the quantum field carry it, unseen, but certain. Ask once purely, then become the version of you who doesn't need to ask again. The one who trusts the echo is already returning. Watch your body, it tells you everything. Is there tightness? Are you clenching around the outcome? Breathe into those places. Loosen them. Allow. When the body relaxes, the field follows. This is not a trick, it is alignment. It is coherence between what you say you want and how your energy behaves. And when your energy becomes spacious, receptive, unguarded, the universe can finally deliver what was always yours. Remember, asking is not just about pulling things in. It's about clearing the path for them to arrive. Manifestation is not just a state of being, it is also a rhythm of doing, but not the doing born of strain or desperation. Sacred action emerges from alignment, not effort. It is movement guided by inner resonance rather than external pressure. After asking, many fall into passivity, waiting as if the universe were a delivery service. But the truth is subtler. You are not waiting for reality to change. You are becoming the conduit through which reality reshapes itself. That means listening, noticing, responding, and moving when the moment opens. Sacred action is quiet, intuitive, timely. It is not hustle. It is flow with direction, a gentle unfolding from the inside out. When your vibration is coherent, life will whisper back with clues, nudges, synchronicities. These are not random. They are invitations. Act on them. Do not act to make it happen. Act because it is already happening, and you are participating in its arrival. The mind may say, "But I don't know what to do." That's okay. Your next step is rarely logical. It's energetic. Feel your way. Which action feels light? Which feels magnetic? Which carries peace, even if uncertain? That is your direction. Sometimes the sacred action is bold, a leap, a decision, a declaration. Sometimes it is gentle, resting, releasing, forgiving. All are valid, all are essential. What matters is that the action reflects the version of you that already has, not the one who is still hoping. You don't push the river, you learn to move with its current. And when you do, the journey becomes graceful, inevitable, even mysterious. This is the dance between asking and becoming, a choreography of energy, emotion, and aligned motion. So move, but move like you already belong where you're going. Most people ask, some align, a few act, but very few truly know how to receive. Receiving is not passive, it is a frequency, a delicate openness, unguarded yet grounded. It is the willingness to allow without guilt, without fear, without shrinking. To receive is to say, yes, I am worthy, yes, I am ready. You were taught to give, taught to strive, taught to wait. But were you ever taught to receive with grace? This is why so many desires hover, circling just outside the field, waiting for permission to land. Receiving requires that you stay open after the asking, that you hold your field in a state of readiness, not anticipation, but availability. There is a difference. Anticipation waits with tension. Availability rests in presence. Imagine your desire is already knocking. Is your door open? Or are you still rehearsing what you'll say when it arrives, caught in the loop of preparing instead of allowing? Receiving is visceral. It happens in the body first. It feels like warmth in the chest, a softening in the jaw, a breath that comes without effort. A surrender that does not mean defeat, but arrival. Train yourself to receive in small things. Let compliments land. Let silence stretch. Let abundance in, not just in dollars, but in light, in joy, in connection. Every time you allow yourself to receive without resistance, you widen the channel. And when it comes, the manifestation, the shift, the answer, resist the urge to minimize it. Don't say this is too good to be true. Say, of course. This matches my field, this reflects my becoming. Let it land, let it expand, let it be easy. Because the universe never denies you. It only mirrors back the energy you're willing to hold. What if the universe you're asking is not outside you at all? What if it lives within every atom of your being, listening, responding, reflecting not your words but your essence? To ask like the universe cannot say no, is to ask from the place where you and the universe are no longer separate. It is to dissolve the illusion of distance between request and response, between thought and form. It is to realize, I am the field, I am the signal, I am the source. This is not metaphor, it is physics. Consciousness is not contained within your skull. It is a holographic imprint echoed across the entire fabric of space. Your asking ripples not outward, but inward, folding through layers of perception until reality reshapes to match the vibration you hold. So, pause now. Feel your own depth. Beneath the noise, beneath the mind, beneath even desire itself, there is awareness, pure, timeless, infinite. That is the true you. And from that place, every ask is already answered. Every intention is already coded into light. Every possibility already exists. You are not here to learn how to manifest. You are here to remember that you already are manifestation, an embodied wave of intention moving through form. So ask, yes, but ask like the sky asks for the sun to rise, without effort, without question. Trust like the seed trusts the soil. Move like the tide, pulled by a force it does not see but always obeys. You are not a beggar knocking on cosmic doors. You are the door. The time for hoping is over. Now is the time to embody, to align, to walk, speak, breathe as the version of you who knows it is done. Not someday, now. And in that now, the universe, your self-reflected, whispers back, yes. There is a pulse beneath all things, a subtle rhythm older than thought, deeper than emotion. It is the heartbeat of the quantum field, the invisible architecture of creation. And when you ask with presence, when you ask from your essence, that pulse responds not with sound but with form. Your desire is not random. It is a signal sent from the deeper layers of your being, echoing from the version of you that already exists in a parallel now. That version is not imaginary. It is real, waiting for you to collapse into it through vibration. You don't have to figure out how it comes. The quantum does not work through steps. It works through resonance. The moment your field becomes identical to the field of your desired reality, you merge with it, instantly, invisibly, irrevocably. This is why the mind struggles. The mind wants to map, to strategize, to control. But the heart knows. The heart feels the rhythm and moves with it. The heart doesn't chase, it harmonizes. To ask effectively is to move your entire being into harmony with what already is. You're not convincing the universe to give. You are aligning with the version of you that was never separate from the receiving. Close your eyes now. Sense that version, the one who is already living it. How do they breathe? How do they walk? What do they no longer question? That is your template. Hold that frequency, not once, but consistently. Let it bleed into your actions, your silence, your choices. Let it guide you like an inner compass without needing to explain itself. And remember this, every time you align with your true desire, you are not moving toward a new reality. You are allowing the real you to rise from beneath the layers of doubt, fear, and smallness. You are not asking the universe. You are becoming the answer. And in becoming the answer, a shift occurs, not just in your outer world, but in your biology, your emotions, your timeline. Your nervous system begins to relax. Your cells begin to resonate with ease. Your breath becomes a bridge between the known and the unknown. You no longer ask, when will it come? Instead, you begin to live as if it already has. This is the highest form of asking. Embodied expectancy. Not fantasy, not daydream, but truth held so deeply it no longer needs to be spoken. And what happens then? The field moves. People appear. Doors open. coincidences stack, time bends. And what once felt distant becomes natural, an extension of who you've become, not a prize for effort, but a mirror of your essence. So ask like this, silently, clearly, completely. Feel your desire like a hum beneath your skin. Walk as if the earth is already rising to meet you. Let your presence become the prayer, because when you do, the universe won't be able to say no. It never could. It was only ever waiting for you to say yes to yourself.